I began to see the world as a catastrophic, risky place. So anything that might happen, I would catastrophize it. I would think about what's the worst possible thing.
Welcome, listeners and viewers. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Grace Ovba, your host, and this is Rising Above Shadows of Abuse, Raza. Meet our wonderful guest, Andy Campbell. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
How did your early experiences shape your understanding of love, safety, or self-worth? I know you did say you had issues with self-esteem and that made you start taking substances. That was your way of coping, I presume, at such a tender age.
I think self-worth, I think those early experiences really damaged that view of myself. I think that carried on into much later in life in ways that I did not realize. As far as love and safety, I think I've spent almost my entire life, certainly since those first experiences, in a state of what I would refer to as risk management. I began to see the world as a catastrophic, risky place. So anything that might happen, I would catastrophize it. I would think about what's the worst possible thing that could happen, and then I would think that's probably what's going to happen. And so I would try to control my environment or control the people around me to prevent that thing from happening. And I think as far as love, I had seen love, I had been loved. I think where things went sideways for me was I was able to love, but I also needed to manage the risk of being hurt, of losing trust, of those things. And so there's constantly this battle, this conflict that goes on in your own mind about how to relate to other people, even whether it's a love interest, how to relate to people you work with, how to relate to people you meet, friends, how do you relate to your children when you have children. All those things, all of these experiences do shape how you view those questions, right? The answers to those questions. So I think I knew what love was. I don't know that I ever knew what safety was. And I know there's a lot of people who are listening to you who grew up alone or grew up in difficult places, and they're not exactly sure what safety is, because basically safety is not dying today. And yeah, I think it definitely shapes how one thinks about themselves, their self-worth in the context of others, and then that shapes how you allow love into yourself and how you express it to others. So it can really get you off track. These experiences can definitely get you off track. Yeah. And I think it's understandable, right? It's not like I have gotten to a place where I don't hold guilt for a lot of the things I look back on that I would have done differently had I not had those experiences. I've just accepted this is the way as humans we deal with these things, especially as you have these experiences as a child. You don't really have a frame of reference for how you should deal with them. Right? And then there's conflicts because you're loved, but then these other people that you thought cared about you also abused you or did something to you. And so it becomes like this conflict. So I think it definitely shapes us, and it shapes us in these ways that are underneath the visible layer, right? It shapes your things that you don't think about. It shapes our perceptions of the world. It shapes the energy that we put off when we engage with others. It shapes a lot inside us that I don't think is visible to us unless we show the courage to look at it.
Be safe and be positive. And don't forget to check out our social media handles. Thank you. Bye for now.